Welcome to the launch of EXO University. I think this is a really appropriate launch for our initial forum on an introduction to time travel with an emphasis on teleportation. We're doing it here on April 22nd, which is Earth Day. We're doing it in the roundhouse, which is a former railroad roundhouse, which was the transportation system of the last 2 or 3 centuries. And we're talking about teleportation, which will be the world transportation system of the not too distant future, which was actually developed about 40 years ago, as we'll explore, in the last century. So we're, as Andy said, we're already behind. So I think this is all a wonderful framework and context within which to launch EXO University, which is a worldwide online streaming video continuing education entity for persons of all ages in exosciences, sci-sciences, and exopolitics. These are all subjects that are excluded from the mainstream university curriculum and scientific canon. EXO University offers a certificate for the completion of its courses. This is the first of 8 2012 forums, and you'll get credit for this forum, so hang on to your tickets or things. And there'll be 7 other forums during 2012 that will be in online streaming at exouniversity.org. And by completing these, you'll be able to gain an EXO University certificate that can legitimize your participation here and may have marketplace, entrepreneurial, and employment value. These days, you know, when you're going for a job, depending on the nature of the job, or you're an entrepreneur, or just in your, you know, daily life, I mean, having a certificate from EXO University, we're the only university with a curriculum in exosciences, sci-sciences, and exopolitics. I'm Alfred Weber. I'm on the board of EXO University, and I'm also a faculty member, and I'm here with my distinguished colleague, Andrew D. Basiago, who will go more deeply into his background, who is also a board member and a faculty member at EXO University. Now, exosciences, just very, very briefly, include energy medicine and quantum access sciences, resulting in technologies such as time travel and teleportation, a particular application, which we'll talk about today. Sci-sciences include parapsychology, a discipline that seeks to investigate the existence and causes of psychic abilities, near-death experiences, and life between lives, the afterlife, using the scientific method. Exopolitics is the science of relations among intelligent civilizations in the multiverse, All of these are explored scientifically and yet are intentionally excluded from the canon of knowledge for various reasons. If you go to exouniversity.org, you'll get the complete 2012 forum schedule. We'll have downloadable streaming video classes in a course context of this forum, and all future forums, courses and classes will be online at exouniversity.org. I now have the pleasure and privilege of introducing fellow Exo University faculty member, Andrew D. Basiago. Thank you. Thank you, Andy.
Thank you, Alfred, for that wonderful introduction, and thank you all for coming today. I'm going to be lecturing for about 90 minutes here in an introduction to time travel. And one of the cardinal things I want you to remember is that some time travel is teleportation, and teleportation is sometimes time travel.
Today's class is entitled A Brief History of Time Travel. I'm going to be discussing my childhood experiences in DARPA's Project Pegasus, which was the U.S. time-space program at the time of its emergence. From 1969 to 1972, I served officially in Project Pegasus, along with 139 other gifted and talented American school children who were enrolled as child chrononauts in the U.S. time-space program at the time of its emergence in the U.S. defense technical community. In that capacity, I was the first American child to teleport, and I took part in 8 different forms of time travel, several of which were new, dangerous, and experimental activities. These were both methodologies for time travel and time travel technologies that spanned the gamut from conventional remote viewing of events going on in real time, which we would define as psychic time travel, through intermediate forms of time travel, such as chronovision, which I've defined as a physio-virtual form of time travel in the sense that chronovision involves both physical and virtual aspects of human experience in the time-space continuum, through the more advanced forms of time travel that permit physical teleportation through time-space. Today, I'm leading a truth campaign to reveal to the world that time travel has been achieved. In fact, it was achieved over 40 years ago under the aegis of the U.S. Department of Defense. And one of the implications of this is that time travel technologies have already been used to access not only what we call the past and the future, but terrestrial domains beyond the Earth. And those of you who are students of Exo University later this year will be attending several courses that will be given by Bernard Mendez and I into the CIA's jump room program of the early 1980s, when one of the forms of time travel developed in the early 1970s was used to place American chrononauts in terrestrial domains beyond the ordinary bounds of Earth. But my emphasis today, again, is going to be on the advances made by DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, in the early 1970s. DARPA, of course, is the U.S. defense agency that develops weapons systems for the United States military. Today, I'm leading a truth campaign that focuses on the fact that time travel has been achieved. It's very important that not only the people of the United States, but the people of the world become aware of this fact, because among other reasons, we're going to have to use teleportation, one of the time travel technologies that DARPA reduced to practice in the early 1970s, to advantage humanity in the 21st century with a new form of transportation, one that gets human beings from point A to point B in a way that's faster, safer, less expensive, and less destructive of the environment. My Truth campaign involving time travel has other purposes. First, we have to reconcile the past. We have to frame a true history of the second half of the 20th century and come to realize as a society that the Manhattan Project scientists who developed the atomic bomb were not only working on atomic weaponry during and after World War II, but in fact were beginning to work with time travel technologies, specifically the teleportation technology that was left by Nikola Tesla in his lab manuals upon his death on January 7th of 1943. An important historical fact that underlies the post-war time travel cover-up is that those papers, the so-called lost papers of Nikola Tesla, were never lost. There were two teams racing to his apartment in the Knickerbocker Hotel in Manhattan to retrieve Tesla's papers. Two were special agents for the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and two were officers for the War Department. The War Department officials reached Tesla's suite at the Knickerbocker Hotel first, seized his paperwork, and forwarded it to Los Alamos, New Mexico, where some of the world's leading physicists were then gathering to build the atomic bomb. And when the Los Alamos Scientific Laboratory was founded, which today we know is the Los Alamos National Laboratories, not only improvements in atomic weaponry, but advances in time travel were actively being researched and developed by the Los Alamos National Laboratories, based initially on Tesla's paperwork and then on different forms of technology that were sourced, for example, from ancient civilizations, from extraterrestrial civilizations, foreign technology that was sourced from the Nazi German and the Soviet Russian experimentation with time travel, as well as the work of leading contemporary time travel technologists like not only Tesla, but the Vatican priests Ernetti and Gemelli. In the present, it's significant, it's important that we understand the 65 year cover-up of the advances in time travel the United States government began to make during World War II and made great strides in after the war. Because time travel has been used in a way that has affected, for example, major political developments, such as the United States presidency. And today, in today's lecture, I'll discuss how, as a child serving in Project Pegasus, I met several of the recent American presidents shortly after they were apprised of their future destinies as president. So we need to understand that time travel has had an impact on the way that the people of the United States select their president that the framers of the U.S. Constitution could never have anticipated. And that is a situation in which presidents are being informed of their destiny as president before they even run for office, much less win the presidency and serve as chief executive of the United States government. So time travel has an important political dimension. I'm calling it time gate to describe the constitutional crisis that the United States government is in, to the extent that the winners of the U.S. presidency, when they announce their campaigns for office, the last 5 or 6 have had prior knowledge that they're the winners of the presidential campaigns that they've entered. And that has had profound effects on the way that the presidency has been administered over the last 40 years. The time travel cover-up is also germane to the future. As I stated, teleportation is going to be needed to achieve planetary sustainability in the 21st century. Between this year, 2012, and the year 2045, world population is going to increase from 7 billion human beings to 9 billion human beings worldwide.